Let's give another hand for Derek Anderson, please. Hi, everybody. My name is Ashley. I'm from Indivisible, Wilmington, and it's so nice to see familiar faces and new faces here at this wonderful 4th of July gathering today. So thank you all for being here, especially after that fun rainstorm. But to be honest, I was struggling of what was I going to talk about here, because after that big BS bill that was passed, I was feeling defeated. I was feeling like I didn't know how to move forward from here, what to do, where to go. And every time I think all is lost, I go back to the basics. And if you've ever heard me speak before, you've heard me say, figure out your why. What's your why? And for me, it's the act of courage that keeps me motivated every day. One of my whys is my brother, Dominic. And to give a little bit of background about my brother, Dominic, no disrespect to any of you, but my brother is the best person on this planet. We're 13 months apart. He's my Irish twin. We go through life together. But my brother was born with autism, which this administration is trying to take a crack at and make it feel like there's something wrong with him, but there's nothing wrong. And I got exposed to that idea as a little girl, going to school, minding my own business in my classes, and my teachers would pull me out of class and try to convince me that my brother did not belong here. And they would tell me that I needed to go home and go to my mom and say, your brother needs to go someplace else. He shouldn't be taking up space in a classroom. And first of all, if anybody has met my mother, you know that there's no way that I am going to convince her of doing anything other than the right thing to do. She has a pretty strong moral compass. I'll wait for the airplane. But when you are a child and you are just sitting there looking, you don't know anything about being a Democrat or Republican. You don't know about being left versus right or blue versus red. You don't know what any of that means. All you simply know is right versus wrong. And Tillis finally figured out what was right, but then is slithering away, and instead of fighting for his constituents and going for the long haul and doing the right thing, he is being a coward like he always does and going away. But that, go ahead, if you need to let it out. But,
too little, too late, Tillis.
Yes. And unfortunately, I don't know if you guys, do get Rausers emails. They're a fun read. I read it so you don't have to. And he was bragging and telling lies to his constituents of what this bill that got passed means. He was trying to claim that it protects Medicare and Medicaid, which is, we all know, preposterous and not the correct thing. So what does that mean for all of us? Well, again, this bill being passed this week reminded me of, first of all, my why, of what I was able to do with some courage as a little girl, and how the American Revolution was started by folks like all of us here. And what happened to all of those that were fighting against fascism and dictators in World War II? It wasn't the rich and powerful, it was the everyday people, like all of us standing here. They agree. They're revving their engines because they agree with me that it's up to all of us to do the right thing. That we're going to keep doing these rallies and protests, and the little Proud Boys that think that are going to splash us when we're drenched in after the rain, they're going to intimidate us, but they're not going to, because the fight is with us. We have the power. The next day of action is July 17th. There's also, if you want to join, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You join WOW. You join an Indivisible group. Lord knows there's a bunch of us Indivisible groups in New Hanover County and Brunswick County. We found out that there's a bunch of new people that have never protested ever in their lives are coming to these events because they're waking up and they're ready to keep up the good fight, because they know the power is with the people, with us. So we ask that you join. I'm a representative of Indivisible, so I'm going to talk about what we do. We have a veterans committee that we love to talk to veterans and see what they actually need help with and hear from them. Instead of using them as a political pawn, we're trying to actually do what we can to help them. You could also join the education committee. a committee that is working with teachers because the Board of Ed tries to schedule meetings during the school day so teachers can't arrive and show up and advocate for ourselves. And they go, I guess the teachers just don't care. So we're doing all that we can to advocate, to send representatives for those teachers to those Board of Ed meetings. There's a labor committee with Indivisible Southeast. There's tons of things that you can do on the local level to keep moving forward one step at a time, because the power is with us, the people. So if you're getting frustrated after a week like today, this week, or a day like today when it's raining and you're not sure you're going to stand outside in the rain and fight for people, you do, because you think about your Dominic, whoever your Dominic is. You think about what's your why. You look to the people of whose shoulders we are standing on today, that we were able to fight the good fight and move forward and band together, so that way we can let Rouser know he also can see himself out. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Sonia, for giving me an opportunity to speak. See you all soon.